trust all is...
I'm mucking about, folks. You'd be dead. You'd be dead. Alright.
Gods keep you.
Can this humble servant of the republics do for you? Tell me about the Faerian republics. They are rich in all ways, in wealth, in style, and culture. If you were to go to the republics, you would not want to leave. Why would you? The people are beautiful and charming. I'm here because the Strongreta Ducala wishes it. But when my appointment is done, I will be on the first ship out, and I will sing from here to Salona. Is there anything else? What do you do here? As the Faerian ambassador, my job is to ensure trade with Deerwood remains strong and profitable. Just there for the profits.
I'll take a look.
In this place, but I didn't remember it. I do not remember speaking to that person.
The work of a moment.
Get more picks as well. I should remember that. I didn't remember that place.
Your brother, did you and he get along?
We got along how brothers do. He used to throw water on me to wake me up in the morning. I used to fill his boots with stinging ants.
My own brothers and sisters are doing very well for themselves, back in Takoa. I don't know that they'd search for me if I were killed so far from home.
Brothers can be funny. I bet you'd be surprised how far they'd go.
There you go. Alright, Edwin.
Good day to you.
Woman stands in the shade of a garden, muttering to herself. She's fixated on the pages of a large and worm-worn tome, seemingly oblivious to the blooming flowers and the cool, fragrant breeze. She only looks up when your shadow crosses her page. Do you mind? I'm rather busy. What are you busy with? She snaps the book shut. I'm studying soul attachment. We all know the souls move into people at birth and out of them at death. But we still have a lot of questions about what makes them stick, so to speak. Stick. She brushes a stray lock from her forehead. Souls power bodies and give their tissues life, but only when they're firmly attached. It's separation that leads to a whole spate of soul-related ailments, including the hollowborn. Yes, I still don't agree with that. But if we understand how to reattach souls, we could end Waidwin's legacy, maybe even conquer death. She scratches behind her ear. That's the theory anyway. Unfortunately, I don't have all of the research I need to put it into practice. What exactly do you need? There's a manuscript called Theories of Pangram. It contains research from the Pangram's experiments on detached souls. The Hold of Reserve Mysteries is rumoured to have a copy in the Elder Archives. Pangram's work is considered to be one of the more endearing Animancer texts, not something generally circulated among novices. Not easy to get a hold of. I wonder if you might have a peek at it. Historians could advance my research by leap and bounds, but Grimda, the high archivist, worships a whale, which means she has some paradoxical views on sharing and restricting knowledge, and she's not exactly a proponent of animancy. She tends to restrict the kinds of information that would be useful. Sorry to hear that. Look at me spilling my troubles. It's kind of you to listen, but I should really get back to my work. something else. Tell me about yourself. I'm an animancer at the sanitarium. Currently, I'm researching matters related to Woodman's legacy. What's the legacy? Well, we know what it is. Woodman's legacy refers to the rise in the Hollowborn children in Deerwood in recent years. Some have also connected it to so-called Beowicks that blow through Air Granvath. That's hardly any reliable data at those, so I can't really comment. He sniffs. I don't much care for the term Woodwind's legacy. It reeks of superstition, but it's too prevalent to change at this point. Personally, I like to see people take a more methodical approach at those matters than throwing up their hands and blaming the gods. Good to hear someone speak and say, yes, see, I'm with you, I'm with you. So I have some questions about the Thormans of Pangram. Tell me about it. Pangram was an animancer working in Deerwood. He had some interesting theories about essence and some rather innovative techniques for studying it. He was able to reattach souls to bodies after death, although he was able to prevent his patients from degenerating. He was controversial, to say the least, but many are starting to realise that he was merely ahead of his time. What do you mean by degenerating? Twist their hands together. Whoa. Well, it seems to be a tiny problem with reattaching souls after death. The bodies will reanimate and may even retain memories and personality, but they develop a hunger for flesh, living, soul-infused flesh. Without it, they start to devolve, decaying mentally and physically. If the process goes too far, which it eventually does, they become mindless corpses attacking anything that moves. We haven't figured out a way to avoid that. That is more than an inconvenient side effect. You've reproduced an unnatural curse with little to show for it. Yeah. Sounds like necromancy. Nonsense. Necromancy is magic. This is science. Ah, right, okay. She emphasises the last word. So why doesn't Grandad lend you the books you need? The Hall of the Rare Mysteries is rather protective of his books, especially the rarer ones, and Grinda is particular. She hates animancy, thinks it's dangerous. I don't see how you can run the greatest library in Deerwood and be so adverse to the spread of knowledge and research, but I've never understood those religious types. Skulls at animancer. Some knowledge is best kept under lock and key. I certainly do agree with that. I like to know about the hall. You'll find it in the cup. Well, we know what that is. It's dedicated to the god of secrets and revelations. Most importantly, it houses the largest and most expansive library in Deerwood. Well, that settled it. We simply must go right this way. I've already been there. What are the Elder Archives? The Elder Archives hold the rarest, most arcane and most powerful texts in Deerwood. Think of it as the inner sanctum of Hall of Revered Mysteries. Needless to say, you need Grunder's permission to enter. I wanted to ask. Area, Adrit's house, Shard Bones, Rimmer. Have to go there at some point. So I'll explore here then, I guess. I did. Decided. Ah, okay, okay. This could be for you then. First. Search. Operation. Yeah.
Right.
Right. I think I just got to speak to them. Head Warden.
Yeah.
Feeling on your side. Is that alright? Downstairs as well. Statue talking. So I take it, right, so I take it the statue is somebody down below. Farmer became a god. He certainly did. And he died. Quite badly. I'll leave that for a second. Eerie music though.
Welcome.
A woman paces back and forth, her feet crumbling on the soft red carpet. She gestures and mumbles to herself, shaking her head as she pores over pages of notes. She almost walks into you. Agosti, here I am, looking so hard for answers in my research that I do not see the Keith standing in front of me. What can I do? I am looking for an expert on awakenings. She laughs bitterly. Ha! That would be me, though the lack of research subjects has made me more of an expert in counting floorboards. I would like to transfer Animancer's success in buttressing, that's a new word, pre-awakened souls, so soothing those whose souls have already awakened. But I need subjects, and most of the patients here are too broken to produce reliable results. It is a tragedy to have come so far for nothing. You're in luck. You got a volunteer. She brings the ball to her feet, beaming. Gallardi, who is it? Lips curl into a frown. I don't know about this. She grins more broadly. Don't be silly. The process is perfectly harmless. All you must do is stand in that cage. I beg your pardon? I jest. Ah, yeah, okay. Your Edians are so uptight. I do not even know what the thing is used for. It belongs to the last occupant of this office, I think. Now they upgrade him to a cell again. I jest. She rubs her hands together, getting down to business. So, I need you to sit here. She takes Aleph by the shoulders and steers him to the couch. And try to relax. But don't try too hard. Then you will not be relaxing. Suppose so. Indeed. And you must also wear these. A little cold, but the copper will help conduct your essence. The Animaster fastens thick copper bands to Aleph's forehead and wrist. As she ratchets them tighter, his face twitches with suppressed irritation. Now I will examine your soul through my scope. She reaches into her desk and produces a long chambered tube, knobs, dials, and small toothed wheels running along the side of the device. It is fitted with Adra lenses cut to different thicknesses and concavities. By manipulating them, I find the angles and densities that will allow me to track the anomalies in your soul. How exciting! I've never seen this sort of thing performed. Kana peers at the device with interest. It seems suitably complicated. Does this mean we'll get to talk to Isamar more? I like that lady. I don't know, she seems a bit, out there. She raises a finger, but first we must find this cunning interloper. You will answer some personal questions while I make adjustments. Sagani pats her arm. Don't worry, I'm sure we won't hear any of it. Elof squirms on the couch. Very well. She holds the scope to her eye and flicks a knob. To begin, tell me something personal, something from a time before your awakening. There's nothing to tell. I was just a normal child living in Sifwood. He looks to you. His face is set in a frown, but the rigid edges of apprehension show through nevertheless. About your parents, or what do you remember about home? As you speak to Ilof, you feel your voice like a bell in your chest. It tolls softly, luring him into the mist of his own memory. Bellasege doesn't seem to notice anything, but you feel as if your words are soothing his essence, untangling its many threads. He closes his eyes, comfortably modest, quiet when Mullow is away, which is most of the time, quiet enough to hear the clink of glass on wood. This is when I know to be the most careful. So that father's experimenting. Father is good about hiding the bottles. Oh no, he was drunkard. Mother, when she is home, is good at pretending not to notice them. This is good. I am starting to see something. Continue. Tell us about the time you awakened. She bites her tongue as she twists one of the dials. I am in my 5th year of training. Mother is home. I can let my guard down a little because she is around. He is usually only angry with her, but he has heard that I have had trouble casting missiles, that my flame shield are unstable. He is furious that I have failed, and Mother's presence reminds him that he has failed too. The first blow takes me by surprise. One moment I was sweeping the kitchen, the next I am sprawled on the ground, stupidly looking at flecks of my blood on the tile. His boots glistening with fresh polish thud across the floor. He kicks me in the stomach, and I curl in a shield to shield my vitals, but it's pointless. Protecting one thing only leaves something else exposed. Still hurled on the ground, I retreat as fast as I can. I retreat until the vision of the kitchen and my own trembling knees is nothing but a pinprick against the field of black. His jaw locks and his eyes twitch beneath their lids. Magical. Bellasege furiously cranks the knobs along her scope. He's hypnotized himself with his old memory. You've got to bring him out of it quickly. I almost have it. Just slap him. I'll just be belligerent. Hold the hand. You're safe. Everything's fine. Aelof's eyes snap open, but the expression you see in him isn't his. He's near safe when I hop up on him. He sucks a deep breath through her teeth. That's it. I'm seeing a shift in his essence. Something spreading and congealing. She glances at you over her scope. Keep talking. He seems to respond to you. What brought you here? Cracking bones and voices high in ire. This warm molasses feeling that creeps down your gut when crisis is nigh. Well, Fitto, we have flares of a total distinct essence. She jots shorthand notes on pages next to her and turns out clicking knobs on the scope. Now try to get the two of them talking. I'd say the other way around because she seems to be in control now. Faye, he's the one needed me, hiding in his own bone bag like a turtle in the shell. Elof's face twitched in fury. I never turned it over to you. Good, yes, very good. She rests from her scribbling only to make another adjustment to her scope. I can now see two separate patterns of essence, where he ebbs, the other flows. It's as if the awakened soul fills the space that he leaves empty. She prompts you with a circling of her wrist, quill still in hand. Go on. Him again. He grits his teeth faithfully. I'm giving her nothing. She usurps me in my own body. Aye, and I lent him a pair too. You should ask what I did. That old man of his, how the last time he laid a hand on us, I break it in 3 places. Alf's head jerks to one side. That wasn't your decision. It's never been your decision. Nay was awakening, but Now I'm stuck with you, and damned if I let your Nedyn drag us both through the scupper. Ah, very good. She lowers her scope and consults her notes. I think I've finally got something we can work with. I've tracked Ismir's essence throughout the exchange. She had a particularly high density index during the most heated portions of your argument, and her essence seems to localise most clearly in the lower portion of the subject's left ribcage. That's right, right around the spleen, which of course means that she is triggered by black bile. No doubt the subject characteristics, melancholy is to blame. Olaf blinks back at you, and in the midst of his perturbation, you are not quite sure who's looking out of those eyes. That's utter horseshit. Black bile, is it? They have certainly spat their share. Canna studies Olaf dubiously. If he is simply... It is a simpler explanation and expected, all things considered. Yeah, I think it's more... personal. Why would it be hidden in the spleen? Not the brain or the heart. He glares at me. Yes, never mind my years of training. I suppose you have a better explanation. You're close. I think Ismar's appearance are related to potential sources of trouble for... Yeah, that's definitely it. Carefully scratches her jaw, her gaze darting between you and Olaf. I suppose that could be true. She jots another note. I'll have to check this against other research. He removes the cover bands. Well, and good for you, but what does this mean for me? The sage frowns at her notes, tapping her cheek with a quill and making a grand show of concentration. However, you catch her stealing a glance at you over the pages. Yeah. You have to say that you're the boss. Ismir tries to take control from you when she thinks she can't face a problem on your own. You can't let her make that decision for you. My thoughts exactly. I have to be more careful about her from now on. Got a lot to process. Regardless, thank you for your help. He does not look at Bellasege. Yeah, it just feels like she did nothing and added everything. She sets her notes on her desk and returns to her scope. Well, I hope this has been useful to you, as it has been to me. I finally have material worth publishing. You'll be the toast of Riva, Vicent Agosti. His grimace melts into a crooked smile. Aye, advancing the right-wise principles of animancy. Just what we've always wanted. Ugh. So as you turn to leave, you catch a darting moving out of the corner of your eye. Bellasege is humming to herself, still occupied with her scope, but Olaf is holding his notes. He's just about to tuck them into his cloak when he catches you waiting. He holds a finger to his lips, his eyes wide and imploring. Please, I don't want my personal information published like this, especially not after her nonsense. No, you get your explanation and she gets her research. That was the deal. He slides the papers back onto the desk, giving you a rueful look. I'm not going to help you explain this one, scholar boy. Two-sided. We got that bonuses up as well. Didn't show you minor items. Expires in 25 hours.